Hey, Cooper here. This is the first video in a new series that I'm doing. I'm pretty much revamping my channel. From now on, I'm going to be doing things like product reviews, how-tos, setup guides, and tech-related info in general. So, welcome, and let's get to it. Okay, so as you can see here, these plastic tabs have broken off. This happened last winter when I was biking in the cold. The plastic had just become so brittle that when I went to take it off, the tabs snapped. After about 6 months of riding around with no tabs, I finally contacted Blackburn, and they very kindly sent me a replacement kit for free, which I guess is to be expected because they say they have a lifetime warranty. But it's just nice to have them follow through on that. So anyway, as you can see here, we have two replacement tabs here. So now I can have those clips work again. And then also, it has this thing here, which is a third hook that some of the different pannier racks use. So this would go there instead of that Velcro on some of the bags. The entire inside of the bag is actually lined with cloth, which makes this more difficult because I can't get to the screws. You can kind of see a little bulge where the screws should be, but they're covered up with fabric. So here I have my soldering station. The soldering iron is obviously good for soldering, but it's also a great tool for fabric such as this polyester, where you can actually melt a hole into it and it'll stop the fabric from fraying. So I'm going to use this tool today to make the holes in my liner. I can feel these two bumps where the screws should be, so I'm just going to use those as the general guide, and I'm going to take my soldering tip to the fabric and see what we can do. See what kind of horrible damage we can do to this bag. Okay, and as you can see, this is going very quickly. Very thin layer of fabric and very high heat coming from this soldering iron. So that probably is enough right there. I may end up making it a little bit bigger just so I can fit the head through, but we'll see. Now I have both of these screws exposed here, so I can remove this first bracket and see how that goes. Okay, so I got my Allen key, and I'm going to take these two screws out. Okay, now I have these two screws out, and this pops off just like that. There is another plate on the back that's actually inside this fabric that I want to make sure not to lose, because if I let go of it, it will just slide down to the bottom. Here's the old one, here's the new one, exact same part. Okay, so now I got my screw in place and my Allen key is in the screw, so I'm ready to tighten this first one down. Okay, now that I have one side finished, I'm gonna work on the other side. Okay, now one thing that I was very careful about is not to over tighten that screw there. If you can see, when you look down, if it's sticking out any farther than the plastic, it will put scratches in your pannier rack. On a previous bag, I actually had one where the screw was too long, and I was able to take it out and grind down the tip. On this one, it's not necessary, as long as I don't tighten it down too hard. We do have a little bit of harm done to the inner lining there, but I think it's definitely worth it because now we have two functional hooks again. So I'll be able to ride my bike around knowing that this pannier will stay safely on the rack. Okay, well, now we have our fully functional pannier bag again with two clips on it. Overall, that was a very simple fix. The only two tools that you'll need for this are a soldering iron and a Allen wrench. I believe that was a 3.5 millimeter. Although it was unfortunate that these clips broke in the first place, I'm very happy with Blackburn's customer service. One thing to note is that Blackburn did offer to have me send the bag in, and they would replace the clips, and in that case probably wouldn't have these holes in the interior lining. They would have probably just replaced the bag. I chose not to do that option just because I knew it would be quicker if I did it myself, and also I don't mind having those holes because I'm sure that at some point in the future these clips are going to break again, and now I can just ask them for the replacement parts and put them on myself. No soldering iron necessary. Well, thanks for joining me today for this fix video on the Blackburn Pannier. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You will see me again sometime in the future if you watch another video. See ya. Oh, and make sure to check out my other channel, Dark Track Studios. The link will be right there. Post, you're awesome.
Thanks, Coop.
Anyway, over there is where I put my recorded music and other recordings and videos that I've done in the studio. So check it out and hope you enjoy. See ya.